down in Langley, late at night. Smart old guys, they play it right. Captain Fun Bobby leads the charge. Silky mitts, Johnny gunshots coming large. Buddy in the slide, all the Chris's in a row. Nighthawks battle, it's a 2-1 show. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, no! Every day's Lloyd's birthday here. Whoppers and Fresca raise a cheer. Don't forget a shower beer. Check Pap's beard for lost gear. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, Jackals. Langley Twin Rinks, empty seats. Chili and buns, Christmas eats. A Chargers hat for tailgate. Nachos for the lady bing. Jackals, Jackals, rock and roll train. Jackals, Jackals, you can't stop the rain. Jackals.
Jackals TV is back on the air after an extended 3.5-week Christmas break, and the Jackals return to the ice in a new division against some new opponents, including this one here today. You can see them on the left side of the screen wearing the blue jerseys with red and white trim, the Snipers. It'll be interesting to see how rusty the Jackals are considering the extent of their break. They're one of the first teams to go on break prior to Christmas and one of the last teams to return to the ice after Christmas. So we can probably fairly anticipate a decent amount of rust here today for the Jackals. Jackals will be dressing almost their entire lineup here today, Daryl being the only player unavailable, so they'll be running 9 forwards and 5 defensemen. Trevor getting the start in net. So let's head to the first period and see how it goes. It's going to be a new year, but the same start here for the Jackals. Early in this game, this point shot finds its way through. Trevor has it. It's up in the air. He bats it down back behind the net, and it's going to get pushed back out to the point again, thrown towards the net. Not a very hard shot, but that player right in front is going to get enough of it to tip it up over Trevor's glove and into the net, and the Snipers have a 1-0 early lead. Here comes Aaron now up the middle of the ice. He's going to pick up this puck near the blue line. Hold up at the blue line. He's got Rob going towards the net, so he throws it towards him, and it's tipped neatly on the net, and it rattles around in the goalie's legs, but he manages to cover it up. Snipers now coming down the left side of the ice, going to beat Gary, and then come in on the left side, take a shot that goes on the short side and slips through the blocker area past Trevor, and we're just 2 or 3 minutes into this game, and it's a 2-0 Snipers lead. Jackals looking to get back into this one. Here comes Chris Regier down the left side, and he's just going to throw this puck towards the net. Goalie loses it and has to find it loose there to the side of his pad, so I think it would behoove the Jackals to get some more shots on net. But before that can happen, we're going to see Gary try to go through 3 players here, loses control, and this Sniper turns around and sees there's nobody in the middle of the ice, so he's just going to skate away from Bruce, cut around him, put it top shelf over top of Trevor's glove. And a terrible start here for the Jackals in 2026. Normally they're only down by 2 in the first period in the higher division, but now they're down by 3 here. And it's nearly 4 here as this player picks up the puck off the draw, but then rips it off the post on the short side. Jackals finally getting warmed up here, trying to get some offensive opportunities. Chris Marshall going wide on the right, tries to throw it up front to Lloyd, can't quite control it, pokes it behind the net. It's going to get put up the wall here to Bob, who's going to throw that towards the net. It gets disturbed by the defender, and it's going to bounce back out to David, who throws it towards the net. A nice little stick there by Lloyd to tip it up over the goaltender, and the Jackals are on the board in this one. It is now 3-1. You're going to see on this shot through, after Lloyd tips it, it's going to go up high and send the water ball into the air with a little skip and a hop on top of the net. So a nice tip there by Lloyd. Jackals aren't going to be able to maintain that good vibe, though. Here off the ensuing face-off, puck is going to get moved here across the neutral zone. Bob jumps on it to intercept it, so that's good. But here he comes in with the puck. around that defender, and he's going to delay with it, waiting for Jared to go towards the net. And while he tries to throw it there, it gets blocked and then skied up in the air. And David had joined the play to give Bob an option. It's going to be a breakaway the other way and to the backhand and past Trevor. And the Snipers almost immediately restore their 3-goal lead. This high event first period is going to continue though. Here's Gary with a nice defensive disruption down in his own end. After picking the puck up, he's going to go hard down the right side of the ice. He's going to try to go towards the net. It's going to get poked off his stick, but he's going to recover it in time to find Aaron coming off the bench, hit him with the pass, and Aaron's going to put it up high over the glove. And the Jackals have responded and got this back to a 2-goal lead by the Snipers. And as we look at this one on the replay, and we see Aaron as he puts it up, focus on the water bottle again. This is going to be 2 goals in a row that send that water bottle up in the air. It's taking nearly as big a beating as the Jackals are here in the first period. Here come the Snipers, back the other way. Puck gets passed across, Bob disrupts it, and then he's going to push that puck up to Rob, who's got Chris Stuhar with him, so he elects to dump it in for Chris to chase into the left corner. And as he does it, you can see Chris Marshall joining the play, gets put back to Rob in the corner. He sees Chris coming, delays nicely to give him time to get there, and there's a passing lane, directs it on net. Turned aside by the Sniper goalie. Bob has it, puts it down low behind the net to Rob again, and he's going to find Chris Marshall once again, this time on the left side, and he whips it towards the net, but the goalie gets the leg down low on the right side to make the save. Period winding down. The Snipers are looking to restore their 3-goal lead. That player pulls that around David after knocking it down with his hand, but Trevor puts the blocker out to prevent the goal and sends us to the second period. The Jackals down their normal 2 goals. And now that they're freed from the shackles of the first period, the Jackals are going to come out flying here in the second. Here's Johnny coming down the right side, trying to poke the puck past the defender. It ends up getting behind the net, and a quick little pass out front from Chris Weeger, and J-Bro is there to pound it home. And the Jackals are now only down by 1 after being quickly down 3-0 early in this game. You see a neat little quick backhand pass, no look from Chris Weeger there, and Jason puts it past the goaltender. Snipers do try to respond though. Here's Gary weaving away from a forechecker, giving it over to Bruce, and he's going to try to put this up to John, but it's intercepted by the dangerous Snipers player, number 16 here, coming down the right side. He's going to throw that on net. The rebound skips over that Sniper player's stick, and the Jackals dodge a bullet. But given this team is the Sniper, they have more bullets. Here's a pass attempt that goes through that player's stick. He corrals it down low and finds his player up front, directs it on net, and then a rebound up high. And Trevor gets the shoulder up and on that and makes 2 nice saves from right in front of the net. But the Jackals don't live in the Matrix, and they can only dodge so many bullets. Here's a pass up ahead. It was supposed to be for a breakaway, but it goes through to Trevor. He can't quite get it, though, and this player throws it out front to an unchecked player who's going to whip that home into the empty net. So a real malfunction and calamity in the Jackal zone, and it's back to a 5-3 lead for the Snipers. Here's Aaron, though, with a nice interception, and he throws that puck on the net. Gets blockered off to the corner. Next, we're going to see Bob corralling the puck in his own end. He's going to try to throw that up ice. You can see Rob was gesturing towards the boards for the pass. Bob goes up the middle instead. It's turned over. This player's going to walk in and rip that shot up high past Trevor's glove, but he can beat Trevor, but he can't beat the crossbar. It's going to go hard down and into the corner, and the Jackals are still only down by 2. But they're working hard to restore that 3-goal lead. Here you see them bump that past the pinching Ortis, and it's 2-on-1, and they pass the puck back, try to drag it across to the backhand, but Trevor stays with it and kicks the puck to the corner. Puck still in the Jackals zone, but Gary's going to do a nice read there, intercept it, and then it's going to go over to Lloyd, who's going to bump it up to Gary. He's going to go up ice, go to his forehand, whip that puck back across the crease, and it gets just a piece of the goalie and goes wide. Jackals get some chances off the counterattack here. Here's David picking up the puck in the neutral zone, coming in with it. He's got Rob with him, who tries to put it back. It looks like maybe to Aaron, but Chris gets it instead, pulls it to the forehand, almost gets it up over the glove of the Snipers goalie, but he covers it up. Here's Gary intercepting a pass at center, but then it gets turned back over to the player who was behind him anyway. That player walks in on the breakaway. Trevor stays with it the entire time, makes a save. So now the puck is down low behind the net. That's Jer actually down there. And Darwin up in the play. The pass goes over to Gary. So now it's a 2-defenseman rush here going in, and Gary's going to throw it across to Darwin, but he can't get a piece of it. Looks like the goalie directs that past Darwin out to empty ice. Jackals still coming though. Chris Marshall fires that puck over the net. Lloyd picks it up, throws it towards the net. Chris Marshall has it behind the net now, trying to throw it up front. Darwin has it, he sees Jer all alone in front, feeds him, but a swing and a miss there from Jer. Another good chance from the Jackals. Darwin not just doing it offensively, defensively as well. Here he lays out this player at the blue line. But it's a classic case of take a hit to make a play because it turns into a 3-on-1 the other way and then a breakaway in from the hash marks, but another save from Trevor to keep it a 2-goal game. Snipers coming down the left side now, going around Gary, trying to come in, and Trevor hugs the post and holds on to it there under the arm to get a whistle. Jackals continue their strong second period. Here comes Rob down the right side, throwing that in front. David picks it up. Not sure if it got through to the goalie there the first time, but he's going to push this back to Gary on the point, who's going to take the slap shot. Rob's there to tip it, and it's up, and then looks like maybe it hits the crossbar and then bounces up into the air. So another close opportunity there for the Jackals. Here's a play for the Snipers that looks very close to being offside, and then they're going to come down the right side, and this pass across is going to bounce off Gary's foot right to the trailing player, and Trevor reads it well and makes a nice save. Here's Gary with a pass up to Rob. He's going to go down the left side with it. Going to make a drop pass to Chris Stuhar there, who throws it towards the net. Rebound right to Rob, and he throws that on net as well, but the goalie sticks with it and makes a save up on the top of his blocker and then covers it up. Here are the Snipers again, and this one's again, close to being offside. This player's going to get tangled up with Lloyd. Sticks flying, Lloyd's flying. The puck's eventually going to go around behind the net, and they're going to throw that out front to this defender. Tries to take a shot. It gets caught up in Chris Marshall's legs, and then Bob's going to jump on it, chip it out to center, turn this into a 2-on-1 with Lloyd, pull the puck away from the defender, then slide it back through the triangle into Lloyd, and he snipes it up over the blocker. And the Jackals have made this a 1-goal game here late in the second period. But as has been frustratingly the case for the Jackals throughout this game, every time they get a little, they give it right back. And so here's a turnover at the blue line. 54 cuts through the middle and then rips it up high over Trevor's glove. And the Snipers right away restore that 2-goal lead. And that's what will take us into the third period. And early in the third, we're going to have 54 coming down the right side again. He's going to try to cut towards the net. Bruce puts the foot down, kicks the puck off of his stick, but then after he hits the puck, he also gets the player's foot. And the referee's going to call a tripping penalty on that, despite the fact that Bruce had gotten the puck first. So either way, though, Snipers to the power play. And they're going to work the puck over to the left side of the ice. It's going to get put down to the half wall. Bob's going to come out there, get a piece of it, but it's going to go right to this Sniper player, who then throws it across to that player for the backdoor tap in. And it's, I believe, that player's third or fourth goal of the game, number 16 there. The Snipers have restored their 3-goal lead that they had early in the first period. Jackals going to keep coming, though. Here comes Darwin down the right side. He's going to throw that out front. It's going to push back to Jerry, who's going to the front of the net, and he shovels that on the goaltender, but it doesn't make it through. Here's Lloyd. Nice little pass up to Ortis there, right on the tape, and that's going to turn it into a 2-on-1 with that nice breakout, and then Chris Marshall throws it back towards the front of the net. Darwin is there, but he can't get a stick on it. Plays still in the Sniper zone, right in front to Johnny. He's trying to get that through to the front of the net. It's going to rattle around in front. Chris Marshall's going to have it. He's going to throw it wildly out front. It goes right through the stick of, I think that's Chris Weeger there. And then Bob has it, and he throws it towards the net, and Chris can't reach it for a tip. And then we're going to back away from that, and Bruce is trying to defend a play there, and both those players are tied up. Clearly look like holding on Blue's part there. But the referees are going to talk about it for some reason. They're going to look for Bruce, trying to wonder who that defenseman was. And they're going to give both players holding penalties to keep it here at 5-on-5 hockey. And on the face-off after that penalty call, the Snipers are going to stretch their lead even further. Darwin can't control the one draw, and this Sniper player picks it up and then puts a pass through Bob across to this player. And he whips it past Trevor for the 8th goal of the game, and the Snipers are now doubling up the Jackals 8-4. Snipers will be looking for more after this puck gets turned over just inside the offensive blue line by the Jackals, and that's going to become a 3-on-1 the other way. This player's just going to hold on to it and take the shot to the blocker side, but turned away by Trevor. Now here comes Rob out through the neutral zone over to Aaron, and he's going to whip that shot towards the net, and the goalie has trouble with it, and looks like maybe he was a little bit hurt, and then he has to reach out and swipe it away to keep Aaron from getting to that rebound. Here comes 54 again, and this time he's going to slide that puck over to the player on the left side, who's going to whip it up on the glove hand side of Trevor, and he flashes the leather and makes the save. Trevor's now going to try making some passes rather than some saves, and this is going to bounce off the Zamboni door. Unfortunate for him, and he's going to be forced to make another save, which he does with the blocker. Jackals pressing a bit, trying to create some opportunities. Doesn't quite work out. That could have been an odd man rush the other way, but a bad pass makes it go back to Darwin. He's going to move this puck up to Bob, who's going to grab it and then push it up ice to Darwin, who goes sprinting past him. He's going up ice, pull it to the middle, around the defender, then take the shot up high on the blocker side. A beautiful goal there from Darwin to cut this lead down to just 3. One last chance for the Jackals to get on the board in this game as they have the puck in the offensive zone. Jason Davis going to throw that towards the middle. It gets swatted out to David, who's going to walk in, take the shot, and the players were there to tip it, and it bounces past Chris Weeger. The rebound does, and out to the high slot, and the game is going to end as an 8-5 victory for the Snipers. So let's have a look at the stats for this game. There'll actually be something to look at rather than those games prior to Christmas where the Jackals weren't really scoring any goals. There you see at the top of the table, Lloyd with 2 nice goals here today in this game. Chris Marshall and Bob chipping in with 2 assists. We'll have a look at what that does to the overall stats now on the season. Aaron remaining at the top of the table with a 3-point lead on 4 different players now after the points gained here in today's game. So not exactly the reception the Jackals wanted in this lower division. Still another loss, but at least the play on the ice was a lot closer as we look at the results from this past week in this division with victories for the Steers, Rare Rockets, and J-Bones Welding on top of that Snipers victory we just witnessed. So we'll have a look now at the current standings. Jackals at the bottom of the table, but having only played 4 games against opponents in this division, so it'll take some time for a truer representation of where the Jackals stand in this division. And so let's have a look at who they will be playing to get that representation. Their next game next weekend on Saturday against the Average Joes, a team they haven't played, and then against the Rare Rockets on the weekday, and then another game the Sunday after that. So they have 3 games in 8 days coming up. And we'll be back for that. Hopefully some victories to document. We'll see you then.